Hi, I'm good. How are you? Good.
Yes, sir. Sure.
He retired in September. No relationship. But if there's a Donnie or a Sean or
We'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to City Council chambers and for a announcement on the future of public safety in Beech Grove for the next 3 years. But before I get started, I'd like to introduce the folks standing behind me. Mike Reeves, President of Firefighters Local 416. Frank Mascari, City County Council District 20. Dr. Paul Kaiser, Superintendent of Beech Grove Schools. Bill Owensby, President of the FOP. Deb Jenkins, our County Surveyor. And Sheriff John Layton. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll be open for questions after the folks speak, should you have any. Recently, the City County Council passed an increase in the local option income tax to fund public safety initiatives. This not only affects the city of Indianapolis, but also affects the city of Beech Grove, city of Lawrence, town of Southport, and the town of Speedway. So beginning on January the 1st of 2015, the city of Beech Grove will begin to receive increased monthly revenue checks as a result of this legislation. And I thank Frank and I thank the City County Council. When I was fire chief and when I became mayor, my priority was and still is the personal safety of each citizen of our city. And that hasn't changed. This administration will take great pride in increasing our capabilities to provide public safety services. And over the next couple of years, we will be able to make a marked improvement in the delivery of vital services to you. Beginning in 2015, we will begin the process to purchase another fire engine. I think when we did the 2012 bond issue, it was perfectly clear that we would have been justified to order 2 engines, but we couldn't. We should take delivery by year's end and not issue any debt by making this much-needed purchase. In 2015, we will purchase another ambulance and extend our ambulance coverage by placing a second ambulance in service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This service will be provided by Franciscan Alliance. This marks the 3rd new ambulance purchased in the last 2 years. We will invest $100,000 for new computers for police vehicles, and we will lease purchase 4 new police cruisers. We intend to make much-needed updates at City Hall concerning personal safety for the employees who work in the front lobby. As part of environmental and security issues, we will begin the process of having one standard location for fueling city-owned vehicles, so the process will begin to remove the tanks located behind the police station on Churchman Avenue. Upon completion, bus fueling and vehicles for our city schools will also be considered as well. As part of this process, we will install electronic gates at the Department of Public Works so fueling of vehicles can be done in a safe, secure environment. Cameras are already in place. Measures will be taken to protect the police officer who is transferring persons under arrest from their vehicle to the inside holding cells for processing by fencing off the back lot and providing electronic gates. Once that measure is in place, the general public will not be permitted behind the police department. And that is a personal safety issue for every police officer. The front lobby will be equipped with a door that is fortified for the personal protection of each police officer, court employee, and employees working in the front area of the building. In the last quarter of 2015, we will hire 2 new police officers so they can immediately begin classes at the police academy. One officer will be a replacement for Officer Stevens, who's with us today, who has earned his retirement and is set to retire in 2016. The second police officer is a new hire. This marks the first of 3 additional police officers that the city will hire through 2017. In 2016, we will hire an additional firefighter, an additional employee for the Department of Public Works, and $60,000 will be budgeted to provide coverage for the front lobby of the police station from 4 p.m. to midnight to assist you. This constitutes the first of a couple of directives towards bringing the non-emergency portion of our control center back. There will be more conversation concerning the control center at a later date. In 2016, we will purchase an additional 5 police cruisers, and we will hope to introduce a program called Community Paramedicine, which will assist chronically ill patients who live in our city. In mid-2016, we will continue to make investments in the personal safety of each police officer, firefighter, and civilian paramedic. We will begin the process to either lease, purchase, or plan for a public safety bond of up to $900,000 to replace firefighter turnout gear, self-contained breathing apparatus, body armor for the police officers, communication equipment for each police officer, firefighter, and civilian paramedic, including but not limited to mobile radios, portable radios, pass devices, individual body cameras for personal protection. This comes off the heels of purchasing 35 trauma kits for our police officers under a program headed by the FOP and local ministry. In 2017, we will hire 2 additional police officers and 1 additional firefighter to complement our staffing. These additional hires will bring the staffing levels of both departments concerning police officers and firefighters to 34, which is the highest level it has been since 2004. As society changes, we must address our challenges from a different perspective. Hiring several more public safety officers may not change the mindset of society. I believe that other aspects of society have to play a part in bridging people together. I would certainly welcome our Parks Board, city schools, and faith-based roundtable to come together and institute early childhood development for children ages 2 to 6 in our city. We have the facility at Hornet Park and the means to do it. We just need to sit down and plan. In 2012, we placed a police officer in the schools, and I'm glad that we did. We need to consider doing it again. We have a fundamental responsibility to protect young children, and we need to protect school buildings from unknown predators who seek to cause harm. It doesn't matter what school your child goes to or you send your child to, but it does matter that they are protected and they feel safe. I need to clear the air on a couple of matters for future reference. First and foremost, I do not support the consolidation of the fire department. I believe our ambulance service is far too valuable to surrender. I would not give up our public safety initiatives and the good work we do in preventing fires. However, I would sign legislation, if approved by the Common Council, to enter into a interlocal agreement for fire protection with the City of Indianapolis for the City of Beech Grove. I do not support combining services with the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. IMPD is in our city every day, assisting our department, and every day the Beech Grove Police Department is in Indianapolis, assisting IMPD. Both departments work very well together, and I desire to continue down that path. I would not support the elimination of trash pickup. Our employees at the Department of Public Works do a wonderful job with handling and disposing of trash. Over the past 2 years, we have come a long way in updating our Public Works Department, and we are striving to continue down that path. As some cities struggle to come up with funding to maintain services, our city continues to move forward. With this, we must continue to provide vital services to our citizens. I would like to personally thank Sheriff John Layton and the Marion County Sheriff's Departments for their good work in our city, along with our police department over the past couple years. Most people are unaware, but felony and probation sweeps occur in our city on a regular basis. On at least 3 occasions since I've been mayor, I have asked Sheriff Layton to work with our department to check the status of sex offenders who reside in our city and surrounding areas. These types of programs are vital and they need to continue as they are the safeguard of our community. So Sheriff Layton, I appreciate what you have done for us. Finally, to the employees of our city, you have gone far too long without a cost of living adjustment. In 2015, finally, after at least 6 years of no raises, you will receive a 2% cost of living adjustment. Your tireless efforts to protect our city and serve our city do not go unnoticed. It is vital that we continue to work as a city to deliver cost of living adjustments every year instead of every 6 or 7 years. And we thank you for what you do. As our city continues to grow, and it is growing, and new business investments are made, we can continue to grow our public safety departments while continuing to make much-needed infrastructure improvements. Thank you. At this time, I would call Sheriff John Layton to the podium for a couple of remarks. John?
First of all, after all your purchases, if you have anything left over, there's a sheriff's office I know that could use a little extra. I'd like to start by thanking Mayor Dennis Buckley for his leadership. And over the past 3 years, his vision for the city of Beech Grove places an incredible high priority on public safety. And I can say that because I've had lunch with him many, many times, and we'll be sitting across the table from each other, and the whole time I'm talking, his wheels are turning. What can we do with this? What can we do with that? You have a fantastic mayor here, and I'm sure that's going to continue for years to come. He truly understands that the quality of life for the people here in Beech Grove directly correlates with the overall safety and well-being of the city itself. That, along with his commitment to fiscal responsibility, as you heard from him himself just now, is clear in the plan that he has laid out for us today. And I appreciate that. It's a very good plan. As the Marion County Sheriff, I've been proud to partner with Mayor Buckley and the Beech Grove Police Department on those many occasions. You know, Sheriff's Office doesn't per se patrol. We do have arrest powers, but we have our own responsibilities. And one of those is sexual offenders here in Marion County, to make sure that we register them, get them here, get them registered at the jail. When they go out into the different communities, which there's 1,600 of those men and women out there right now living in our communities, it's the sheriff's responsibility to also know exactly where they are, where they're working, what they're doing. We do that on a daily basis. We have a unit that does just that. Then we bring in other deputies that would be afforded a police car, and they're assigned some of those same people to check on constantly. So it doesn't matter where at in the sheriff's office that they're assigned. If they have a car, they have sexual offenders to check on. So that, and then we come into Beech Grove. Mayor Buckley and I talked about this many times. We come into Beech Grove and we partner up with the Beech Grove Police Department, and we saturate this town as far as any sexual offenders and felony warrant violators, people who we know are wanted on warrants, especially felonies here in the Beech Grove area. We go after them as a partnership, and that's the way it should be. Sheriff's Office also does that with IMPD and Speedway, but I don't know, the camaraderie between the sheriff and Beech Grove has seemed to grow a lot more over the last few years, and I certainly appreciate that as a deputy who patrolled down here, 30 and 40 years ago. So we look forward to continuing our close relationship the Sheriff's Office does with Mayor Buckley and the Police Department on those felony warrant and sweeps. Mayor Buckley, thank you very much for being a great leader for Beech Grove and an incredible partner for all the people of Marion County. Just showing that you're a team player sends a message. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John. I'd like to introduce the president of the FOP, Bill Owensby. Bill?
Thank you, Mayor. I don't think it's any secret that public safety is always a community's number one priority for the city administration and the number one concern of its inhabitants. And clearly, public safety is on everyone's mind these days. There's no community that's isolated. There's no community that lives in a bubble or is isolated from crime. And I think Beech Grove can attest to that as well. But to do something proactive, you have to have a vision, you have to have a plan, and you have to have an idea. And clearly, with the thoughts that the mayor has outlined today, he has a plan for public safety, he has a plan for the public safety dollars. And the FOP in 416 really started working about 2 years ago because we realized that with the public safety property tax caps where they are and tax revenues not increasing and in fact being stagnant or even reducing, that something had to be done for public safety. And while we tried several initiatives, really that came down to the only thing that was really a viable option, unfortunately, was rallying to increase the public safety tax. And it was a rough row to hoe for a while, but we got counselors such as Frankie Mascari on board who recognized the fact that clearly there wasn't really any other alternative but to raise the public safety tax. So with that, communities get a small increase in those tax dollars. Indy obviously gets a significant portion, but Beech Grove is going to realize an increase in public safety dollars. And in my mind, in my estimation, the mayor has done a really good job in planning out how to be good stewards of those tax dollars and planning out how to spend those for public safety. Obviously, the fire is going to be the recipient of fire equipment, and you heard the police department is going to be the recipient of not only new hires, but new police equipment and innovative approaches to public safety. So as Sheriff Layton said, I too have had many conversations with the mayor, and he is, I think public safety is the number one concern in his mind. That's constantly what we talk about. He's always looking for innovative ideas, and clearly he's put those to paper today. So I would like to applaud the mayor for his initiatives, and I hope the city of Beech Grove realizes that this is going to be good in the long run for the city of Beech Grove. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. I'd like to introduce Mike Reeves. Mike is the president of the Metropolitan Firefighters Local 416. Mike?
Thank you. And Mayor, I appreciate your efforts, and I want to personally thank Councilor Mascari and all the City Council that supported the public safety tax. As you heard the mayor state, public safety is number one. We've heard that from many politicians over and over. He's holding himself to what he committed to early on. And on the fire side, Indianapolis Fire Department, Beech Grove Fire Department, we're a team, we're a family. Yesterday we had a run together, and I talked to the chief, and I talked to the fire chief from Indianapolis that was here. We did things together as a team. I appreciate his vision, his outlook on what it is. In 2013, we had a injury to a firefighter because, and it was an independent study, completely separate from Local 416, from politics, and the study said it was due because we didn't have enough firefighters on the street on that apparatus. Mayor, thank you very much. I never want to see another injury due to short of staff. I appreciate your efforts. And as Bill said, we do work with all of public safety. IMPD, they're our friends. Beech Grove Police Department are our friends. We do things together as a team. I can't thank you enough for putting a 3-year plan out here that says we are going to take care of not only the public safety people that do the work on the street, but the citizens we are here to represent. Mayor, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike. I would like to introduce our superintendent of schools, Dr. Paul Kaiser. Paul?
Thank you, Mayor. As a young man, my father was an Indianapolis police officer for 28 years, so I appreciate the effort everybody has put forth. And growing up in that family, public safety was always a prudent and important thing for our family. I wanted to be a pro basketball player or a policeman, so I became a superintendent and a coach, so I'm not sure what the relationship is there. But I just really appreciate the vision of Mayor, from the time that he's talked about running from the mayor up to this day, he and I are always talking about what can we do to make our community and our school system go from good to great. The Department of Education has given Beech Grove City Schools a preliminary rating of A. And you consider the demographics of our community, that is truly, truly a great accomplishment. But it's an entire community that allows us to do that. If we're going to continue that greatness and move forward, the biggest challenge we have is early childhood education. And the mayor's emphasis and my emphasis and our vision is that we have a cost-effective early childhood opportunity for our students. We have students that show up on our doorstep that actually do not know their given name. Every year we spend time trying to get kids to understand, well, what's your name? Trying to find out who they are, believe it or not. We have parents that drop kids off on their doorstep. We have to get every child at age 1 or sooner in a early childhood educational setting. We think teaming together our partners of our faith-based council, our school system, and our city and our community as a whole, we can achieve that goal. To go from good to great and maintain that, it's an entire community effort. So we appreciate the continued commitment with Officer Parker at the high school. We also now have police officers working in a community, teaming together in a middle school, not to catch kids, but to encourage kids and to coach kids to do great things. We just really appreciate the long partnership and continue to realize that our future is bright as we work together. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Kaiser. Frank, or you or Debbie would like to make comments?
Thank you, Mayor. September 20th, 2013, we lost Officer Bradway. That was really the beginning of raising the public safety tax. Our caucus came together that Sunday after that happened, and we talked about it. We said, well, let's raise the public safety tax to help these folks, but it was way too late to do it because the timing had to be done by October or sometime. But we've been talking about raising the public tax really before that, and we heard Bill Owensby's pleads, and this is something that was lowered 7 years ago by 10 cents. So actually, we're only raising it by a nickel, so it's raised 15 cents. And we've lost millions and millions of dollars in those 7 years. But I'm just glad we're able to help Beech Grove.
Thanks, Frank. Deb, would you like to say a couple words?
Good afternoon. I'm Deborah Jenkins, Marion County Surveyor, but I also grew up on 2nd Street, graduated from Beech Grove, and live in Beech Grove still. I'm not going anywhere. Beech Grove is my town. This is a proud day to know that the officers and the employees of the city of Beech Grove are deserving of their pay increases, and I'm just glad to work with Sheriff Layton and the mayor on the child sex offender registry for our city. I'm just honored to be here today. Thank you.
One comment that I forgot to bring forward in my remarks was the city next year should receive between $450,000 and $475,000 as a result of this tax increase, and then that figure should go up over the next 2 years to about $515,000. So in the span of 3 years, we will have about $1.5 million to invest in the police and fire departments. So with that, we will open the floor for any questions.
How much were you getting before, and then how much bigger is it now? How much did you get in 2014?
We collected approximately $1.2 million.
In 2014?
Mm-hmm.
So this is an additional $450K,
Yes,
which takes you up to about 1.7.
yes.
And tell me about the crisis or the shortfall you've got in your fire department. I mean, yesterday was unfortunate and tragic, and we don't know if anything could have been done to save those lives. However, there was another recent large fire here in town where you needed the support of IFD to put down the blaze at the target range.
I'm not sure that we would ever be able to adequately fight a fire if it wasn't for the city of Indianapolis, because federal regulations dictate how many apparatus, how many firefighters you have to have on a scene based on the time frame. So the longer the event goes on, the more people you need. So without the services of the city of Indianapolis, we would never be able to respond to a normal fire.
Therefore, would it be protection-wise or financially, would it make more sense to simply then consolidate instead of trying to, because you're, as you said, you're always gonna have Beech Grove Fire Department, but you're always gonna need IFD's help no matter what.
I would not consolidate, do total fire consolidation, as I said in my remarks. I would entertain any interlocal agreement with the city of Indianapolis for fire protection. Because if I do that, I don't lose anything, and the taxpayers save about $1 million a year. So I have to, in good faith, look at it.
So it would cost you more to be part of a consolidated IFD than to run a Beech Grove department?
No, it could be good to enter into an interlocal agreement. I would never consolidate the fire departments.
What I'm wondering is, would it be cheaper than to consolidate instead of trying to fund your own fire department?
No, I think it would be prudent that we look at entering into an agreement with them, because the taxpayers will save about $1 million. You can't turn your head on that. You have to look at that. And I don't know if you lose anything.
For Sheriff Layton, Sheriff, then, you know, we're aware of the fact that your deputies come out and serve warrants and do sex offender sweeps.
Yeah.
To help out, at least as the mayor indicates, you know, we're at least a couple police officers short. We'd like to have a couple more and a few more vehicles. Would you then ever consider loaning in your reserves or putting your reserves on some sort of regular patrol status out there?
Actually, I don't need to loan him anything. We work together, whether it be a regular deputy sheriff or a reserve. We work in tandem with Beech Grove Police Department on several different occasions. It's kind of like the fire service. I'm sure you've seen where there was one just the other day where IFD had a large fire. Wayne Township came in to help them out. I mean, this is IFD, and Wayne Township has to come over in that district and help them out. These interdepartment workings together, such as Sheriff's Office, Beech Grove, IMPD, Beech Grove, IFD, Beech Grove. I'm not answering for the mayor at all, but these have been going on for 100 years, where we help each other out when the chips are down, when you need some help. That way, the people of Beech Grove wouldn't be as burdened, because the sheriff's office can come in and help out their officers to do a big sweep. And I mean, it's the same thing with fire, in my opinion. And that's only after being around police and fire for 40 years and seeing how they work. Can I even talk to that? Believe me, it's more of the president's bailiwick there. But no, he doesn't have to borrow anything. We work together. The deputies are out every night anyway, so they're set somewhere in this county. They can be in Beech Grove just as easy as in Mars Hill.
The sheriff joked about it in his remarks about, you know, how if you have any money left over. It seems like an awful lot of stuff to be able to purchase on $450,000 a year. Are you concerned at all that you may be a little stretched thin?
No, I should have had our financial advisor here, but the clerk and I and the financial advisor sat down a month or two ago and went through this, and the financial advisor advised that this is very doable, and so we're going to proceed.
Mayor, what's your message to the citizens of Beech Grove with this three-year plan?
Well, I think the message would be that we care about your safety, and we are striving to improve the service, both police and fire, and trash pickup, and I think we're better off now than we have been in a long time. And I think it's obvious that the city's growing, and we're going to continue to grow and continue to invest in these two departments. So.
Mayor, when you come up for re-election?
The re-election, the next election is November of next year, but I have not committed as to whether or not I'm going to run again. I'm going to sit down with my wife and my children, and we're going to talk about it, and I'll probably make a decision at the end of the year. Any other questions? All right, I want to thank everybody for coming today. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks.